Good evening, everyone.
वेट करिए मैम, मैं 2 वीडियो ऑन करूंगा तब तक।
Okay, sir.
मैं फेसबुक लाइव कर दूं।
ठीक है सर।
One good move makes all the difference. The best way to predict future is to create it. Take a move. Create a future. Join Shobit University.
As a young citizen of India, armed with technology, knowledge, and love for my nation, with a vision of transforming India into a developed nation, I'm joining Shobit University. What about you?
Please start.
Good evening, everyone. Myself, Dr. Deva Prakash. It is a matter of honor for me that I am a part of today's discussion. It is an initiative of Department of Higher Education, Uttar Pradesh government, along with our university, Shobit University, which was established in 2013, and before 2013, it was running with the name of Shobit Institute of Engineering Technology, Gango Saharanpur, since 2000. Also started a webinar series from 15th March to 22nd March 2021. And today, on second day of this series, we are going to start our discussion on pedagogical and curricular restructuring of school education. Before starting anything, firstly, on behalf of my university, I extend a warm welcome to our today's speaker, Mr. Pramod Sharma, education consultant, founder principal, Genesis Global School. Welcome, sir. Now, I would like to say that the learning should be holistic, integrated, enjoyable, and engaging. And this is the real base of our National Education Policy 2020. We have to create our new generation as well as educated, not well trained. The young generation must be well educated with the learning of enjoy and engage process. Every one of us knows that our National Education Policy 2020 was not a single step movement. It was initiated in 2015 when Shrimati Smriti Irani was HRD minister. She constituted a committee with the chairmanship of Mr. TSR Subramaniam, and this committee submitted a report on 7th May 2016. The objective of that committee was to improve the quality of education, credibility of education, and the main, addressing the gaps in implementation. In October 2016, Ministry released this draft and asked the suggestion for improvement. After that, one committee of 9 members with the chairmanship of Dr. K. Kasurirangam was constituted, and this committee finally make a draft which is passed as National Education Policy 2020. In this policy, there are dynamic changes. There is equal footing on academic, vocational, and extracurricular activities. In one line, we can say that according to this policy, our child can make his or her own area of work according to the interest and choice. And after completing his or her school or college, they will be ready for the to face the real world. So, to unfold the basic point of pedagogical and curricular restructuring of school education, I would like to call our today's keynote speaker, Mr. Pramod Sharma, on this e-platform. Mr. Pramod Sharma brings with him the experience of a career in the education spanning 42 years. He started with teaching chemistry at the Doon College, Dehradun. He also taught in Afghanistan and Nigeria. He has served as principal for over 25 years across various institutions, including the TN Academy, Gangtok, Yadavindra Public School, Patiala, and Mayo College, Ajmer. During his 12 years tenure at Mayo College, Ajmer, it was placed among the best 2 residential schools in India. He was awarded the National Award for Teachers in 2000 by the President of India. His decade-long tenure as member of the governing body of the CBSE was much commended. He has been convener in TAC, Ajmer and Pushkar and the vice chairman of the Rajasthan Scouts and Guides. He is the ex-chairman of the Indian Public School Conferences and the recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award from IPSC in 2008. He is an honorary member of Round Square and IPSC. He looks forward to the continued growth of Genesis Global School as a preferred day and residential school that offers excellent ethos and infrastructure for any scholar looking forward to a modern education. So, sir, welcome you, and without taking no more time, I would like to call you, sir. Over to you, sir. Please.
Thank you very much. National education policy, every gap of 8 to 10 years, a country must see where it is heading as far as education is concerned and should make moderations and changes. We all understand that today we reached a stage where children were unhappy if they were getting 95%. The admission into colleges was not assured. People were thinking of how to get 101% instead of 99 and 100%. That meant rote learning in our educational curriculum had become the main focus. The teachers, as a teacher, I had learned the fine art of converting a chapter into question and answers and how to score maximum. That became the main agenda of teaching. Now, this is not what the education or schooling is meant for. Schooling is meant for critical thinking skills, for children or students to evaluate what is being taught, to have their own view on a text or have their own view on any concept. So that was not coming about. Now, in national education policy, there are far too many areas and everybody gets excited about some or the other. Let's start from the beginning. In the early years, it talks about that literacy and numeracy skills must get importance. There are reports after reports that our students of class 5 can't read a text of class 2 properly or can't do sums of class 2. They are studying in class 5, but they are not being able to solve the problems in class 2. That means actual learning is not taking place. So the emphasis is on, in the early years, is on numeracy and literacy skills. And these are most important skills. Apart from that, they are also talking about multilingualism. That means teach as many languages as you can in early childhood, up to 6 years, 8 years of age. And children it is very easy for them to understand these different languages and learn. So numeracy, literacy skills, and then the multilingualism. So this is for early years program, and obviously physical education in this entire exercise in schooling has gained a very important part. That means physical fitness, your body coordination, movement, learning sports is as important as academics. Then they are also talking about examinations. Earlier, we were used to examinations at 10 and 12, but now at some place it mentions examinations at the end of 3, 5, 8, then 10 and 12, which I think as there will be more discussion, this perhaps will get dropped or get diluted, because I do not think we should load the children with an examination at the end of 3, 5, and 8. This is a little unnecessary to my mind, and this will gradually talked about. A good point is B.Ed. You know, we are all very well aware that standalone teaching shops giving out B.Ed degrees had become a norm, at least in North India, that I know. So the new education policy has devised that no, these standalone school colleges will not give B.Ed. B.Ed will be given by those universities which give multiple degrees. They run multiple disciplinary courses, meaning you have commerce, you have science, you have some other subjects, and management maybe. And in the same place, you have an education department which gives out B.Ed. So after your graduation, if you do B.Ed, then it will be 2 years course. And if you do directly, then to include the graduation, perhaps it will be a 4 years or 5 year course. But that is, I'm not going much into it. The only thing is that the Bachelor of Education degree will become more relevant, and the curriculum will become more updated, and it will not be the kind of situation that exists today, that you can just get enrolled and get a degree. Then the good part is class 9 to 12. They are not having only one kind of a syllabus. There will be a higher level and there will be a lower level. That means you can do higher maths or you can do a normal maths, because everyone at the moment was made to learn maths, whether he wanted to be a scientist or an engineer or a commerce graduate or a humanities graduate. It is not necessary to do the same kind of maths. So a commerce graduate will do a different kind of maths, and scientist or engineer will do a different kind of maths. So this kind of two gradation of different subjects would be available. Another important part of new education policy is that it will have liberal arts. That means it will not be compartmentalized like we have today, science, commerce, and humanities. One would be able to do a humanities subject, a commerce subject, along with a science subject. So there will be, the whole situation will become multidisciplinary, and we will be able to interact. So this is called liberal arts, and this is going to be encouraged, though CBSE had not stopped, but our thinking in the minds of the principals and the society had become compartmentalized. So that is being liberated and that is being changed. Then instead of annual examinations, they are talking about assessment. Actually, the emphasis should always be on assessment, not on annual examination. Assessment also tells us as to how much learning has taken place, how we need to change our teaching pattern or pedagogy, and how we have to move on. Something which has not come out very strongly, but it does talk about experiential learning. In our practical examinations in this country, the marks had become very predictable. Every school in science, practical, physics, chemistry everybody will get between 26, 27 to 30. So this is not right. And then we talk about why we are not being able to produce scientists, why we are not inventors, why we haven't got many patents in this country, because in schools, we are not teaching sciences properly. That is the reason. So we need to teach science properly. We need to have some kind of a standardized practice. I had suggested when I was on the CBSE board that we need to have some questions in a theory paper, which you can't solve if you have not done practicals properly, rather than totally depend upon it. It's called alternative to practicals. A theory paper, which you will not be able to solve unless you have done practicals properly. I strongly recommend that the government or the new education policy should further move into that direction. You do practicals, but your practical marks will not be decided where they can be influenced. So you do an alternative to practical. So there are many areas, and each person you talk to will tell you different areas which he finds interesting. It's a huge document. It can have far-reaching changes. It can improve the society and the learning outcomes. I'm very hopeful. It was very badly needed. So some other time when we will be able to, but I'm so sorry that I have come out of a meeting to be able to say this piece, and I hope you will excuse me with that. And I hope I have been able to just start the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Madam, please.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. On behalf of our university, I'm very thankful to you, sir.
Thank you.
And in future, we will try that we take a lecture of you again.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Prashant, please.
Thank you very much, sir, for sparing some time with the Shobit University family. You focused on high marking is not the base of happiness. Literacy and numeracy skills, actual learning is not cramming. Multilingualism, all-round development of child, standalone B.Ed colleges, which are selling the degrees. We need to teach science as well as liberal arts properly. I hope the National Education Policy 2020 will be helpful to fulfill our dreams of knowledgeable society and many more. Sir, you have covered all important aspects of NEP 2020 regarding school education. Now, I think we should discuss on some key points of National Education Policy 2020 regarding school education. First one is universalization of education is from preschooling to secondary level with 100% gross enrollment ratio in school education by 2030. 2030 तक 100% ग्रोथ एनरोलमेंट रेशियो का एक टारगेट इस न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में रखा गया है. नेक्स्ट वन इज टू ब्रिंग 2 करोड़ आउट ऑफ स्कूल चिल्ड्रन back into the mainstream through an open schooling system. The current 10+2 system to be replaced by a new 5+3+3+4 curricular structure corresponding to ages 3 to 8, 8 to 11, 11 to 14 and 14 to 18 years respectively. It will bring the uncovered age group of 3 to 6 years under school curriculum, which has been recognized globally as the crucial stage of development of mental faculties of a child. It will also have 12 years of schooling with 3 years of Anganwadi preschool. It is very important. Next one is class 10th and 12th board examination to be made easier to test core competencies rather than memorized facts, with all students allowed to take the exam twice. School governance is set to change with a new accreditation framework and an independent authority to regulate both public and private schools. Emphasizes on foundational literacy and numeracy, no rigid separation between academic streams, extracurricular, vocational streams in schools. Vocational education to start from class 6 with internships. It is very important. Vocational education is start from class 6 with internships. Teaching up to at least grade 5 to be in mother tongue, regional languages. No language will be imposed on any student. ये सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है. वहां पे जहां पे इंडिया में इतनी सारी लैंग्वेजेस हैं और जितने भी साइकोलॉजिकल रिसर्चेस हुए हैं खास तौर पे प्राइमरी एजुकेशन के लिए मैडम, वो सभी इस बात को फोकस करते हैं कि प्राइमरी एजुकेशन मदर टंग में होनी चाहिए. न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी इसको आगे बढ़ाती है और हम सबको और ज्यादा बेटर टीचिंग के लिए ऑप्शन प्रोवाइड करती है, खासतौर पे जब हम ऑलराउंड डेवलपमेंट की बात करते हैं. असेसमेंट
ये अच्छी चीज है सर, बिकॉज अभी हम लोग फोकस होते हैं इंग्लिश पे या अदर और लैंग्वेज पे. अभी हमें उन्हें फोकस करना है कि उनको सिर्फ डेवलपमेंट करना है अपनी ओन लैंग्वेज में. तो उनको उससे मतलब नहीं है कि उनको क्या करना है, दे हैव टू क्रिएट देयर नॉलेज ओनली ऑन द साइंस और द कॉन्सेप्ट्स।
स्टूडेंट की क्रिएटिविटी, उसकी कैपेबिलिटीज, कैपेसिटीज वो कहीं पीछे रह जाती हैं और वो
पीछे।
लैंग्वेज के सिस्टम में कहीं अपने आप को इन्फीरियरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्स में आ जाता है और कहीं जो आउटपुट आने चाहिए, आउटकम्स आने चाहिए, वो मैडम नहीं आता।
एग्रीड सर।
Next one is school governance is set to change with a new accreditation framework. ये हो चुका था पहले, आपके साथ में डिस्कस कर चुका है इसे। Assessment reforms basically with 360-degree holistic progress card. Holistic development means all-round development, tracking student progress for achieving learning outcomes. A new and comprehensive national curriculum framework for teacher education 2021 will be formulated by a National Council for Teacher Education NCTE in consultation with National Council of Educational Research and Training NCERT. By 2030, the minimum degree qualification for teaching will be a 4-year integrated B.Ed program. It will be good. These are the main provisions in NEP 2020 regarding school education. Some important aspects regarding school education should be discussed, like as schooling for all. The National Education Policy 2021 aim at bringing school education access to all. For this, the policy states that the government will develop infrastructural support and innovative educational centers to bring back dropouts into the mainstream. In the National Education 2020, the government has targeted to bring back about 2 crore out of school children into the mainstream. To release this vision, the government will take some actions like as the concept of open schooling to made stronger, to make school education more accessible through NIOS, National Institute of Open Schooling, and state open schools. Secondary education programs equivalent to grade 10th and 12th to be created. Students who have dropped out of school shall be provided with options of joining vocational courses. मैं बार बार इस बात को एम्फेसाइज कर रहा हूं कि अभी तक की जो हमारा स्कूल एजुकेशन का कंसेप्ट है वो बेसिकली 10th क्लास तक जब हम जाते हैं बच्चे को लेके तो वहां पे बच्चे का इंटरेस्ट के साथ 11th में बेसिकली वो स्ट्रीम सेलेक्ट करता है। ये न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी स्कूलिंग एजुकेशन में क्लास 6 से हम उसे वोकेशनल एजुकेशन की तरफ मूव करा सकते हैं। और जो एक प्रॉब्लम है कि आफ्टर 10th आफ्टर 12th बच्चा बेसिकली जाए कहाँ, तो वो अपनी इंटरेस्ट के साथ, अपनी कैपेसिटीज के साथ उन सारे एरियाज को सेलेक्ट कर सकता है जिसमें उसका इंटरेस्ट है। और हम बहुत अच्छे वोकेशनल स्टूडेंट सोसाइटी को दे सकते हैं। ये रियल में इस पॉलिसी का मुझे लगता है कि सबसे गोल्डन प्रोविजन है। Students who have dropped out of school shall be provided with options of joining vocational courses. Next main aspect is flexibility in curricula and pedagogy. The National Education Policy has also removed barriers of subject streams like as art, science, and commerce that restricts students of one stream from choosing another particular subject from another stream. Also, the vocational courses will begin at the school itself right from class 6. Now, a student will be able to select a set of subjects that seem interesting to them, instead of compulsory choosing a particular set of subjects under one stream. The flexibility in selection of subjects according to NEP document will lead to critical thinking among students and greater focus on experimental learning. To implement this, a new and comprehensive national curriculum framework for school education NCFSC will be developed by NCERT. As per the NEP 2020 document, students will have increased flexibility and choose of subjects. There will be no rigid separation between arts and science, curricular and extracurricular activities, or vocational and academic streams. Next main aspect of this policy is outcome-based learning. The National Education Policy 2020 has also emphasized on learning outcomes for school students instead of half-yearly or annually exams only. The students will now have regular assessment to make the assessment and tracking of teaching learning outcomes transparent a new National Assessment Center, PARAK, Performance Assessment Review and Analysis of Knowledge for Holistic Development, will be set up as a standard setting body. According to NEP documents, the assessment will be more focused on testing higher order skills such as analyze, critical thinking, and conceptual clarity. In the new schooling structure, all students will take schools examinations in grade 3, 5, and 8, followed by board examinations for grade 10th and 12th. आई थिंक अब जो 10th क्लास में सीधे बच्चा, अभी की जो करंट पॉलिसी है इसमें 10th क्लास में आके फर्स्ट टाइम एक बैरियर आता है, उसके बाद 12th में सेकंड बैरियर आता है. तो ये न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में ग्रेड 3rd, ग्रेड 5th, ग्रेड 8th और उसके बाद 10th एंड 12th, तो ये जो बैरियर्स होंगे ये स्टूडेंट को और ज्यादा बेहतर बनाने की तरफ शायद लेके जाएंगे. नेक्स्ट मेन एस्पेक्ट इज ए बेटर टीचिंग एनवायरनमेंट. It has also intervened in how teachers will be trained, recruited, and evaluated in the new setup. To standardize the quality of teaching in schools, a common national professional standard for teachers will be developed by the National Council of Teacher Education by 2022 in consultation with NCERT, SCERT, teachers, and experts. The promotion for teachers in school will be based on their performance on administrative and academic assignments. The NEP 2020 also paves the way for a greater levels of collaboration among institutions which are geographically close to each other. A cluster-wise resource pool will be created that will comprise infrastructure, academic, libraries, and a strong professional teacher community. Further, like higher education, there are lots of provisions in NEP, but today's topic is school education and curricular changes. India faces big problems when it comes to shifting students from Anganwadi play schools to formal schooling. एक बड़ी प्रॉब्लम अभी सामने आएगी जब इम्प्लीमेंटेशन की हम बात करते हैं कि किस तरीके से शिफ्टिंग होगी आंगनवाड़ी प्री स्कूल्स फॉर्मल एजुकेशन में. मैं पर्सनली इस बात को फील करता हूं कि जो पब्लिक स्कूल्स हैं बेसिकली वहां पे इलीगली नर्सरी, किंडरगार्टन, ये सारा सेटअप है, अब उसे लीगलाइज किया जा रहा है. खासतौर पे जो गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर्स के स्कूल्स हैं जहां क्लास 1 से स्कूलिंग आपकी स्टार्ट होती है. न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी प्री स्कूलिंग का कंसेप्ट लेके आई है. अर्ली चाइल्डहुड केयर एजुकेशन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है, लेकिन प्रॉब्लम है कि किस तरीके से आंगनवाड़ीज और प्ले स्कूल्स को हम फॉर्मल स्कूलिंग में कन्वर्ट कर पाएंगे. हालांकि आंगनवाड़ीज और प्ले स्कूल्स आपके पास बहुत सारे हैं, लेकिन गवर्नमेंट के पास रिसोर्सेज और प्राइवेट सेक्टर साथ में आएगा तो तब जाके कहीं इस नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी का बहुत बेहतर तरीके से इम्प्लीमेंटेशन हो पाएगा. A strong base in the foundational level is crucial for children to be able to keep learning as they grow older. The new initiatives recognize the importance of development as it includes the age of 3 to 6 in formal education. Those are the very crucial ages for children to develop. Without the necessary language and numerical skills, the students will lack the basic needs to be able to teach themselves. Self-learning can get largely affected if the base of learning is shaky. I think new education policy and pedagogical changes, ये सारे इस पॉलिसी में जो प्रोविजंस हैं वो हमें एक बेटर फ्यूचर की तरफ लेके जाएंगे, एक बेटर इंडिया की तरफ हमें लेके जाएंगे. Early childhood care and education in shaping a child future, so including pre-primary within the ambit of NEP is probably the biggest win of NEP. Looking at age 3 to 8 as a single unit or continuum with a clear focus on building a strong foundational literacy and numeracy skill at the end of that will simplify the mainstream children education and development. Selecting subject combinations is a big deal for young students. It is one of the first steps to legitimate choice in their career path. As per the new education system, they have completely gone away with the stream system and the students can choose their own subjects and formulate their own course packages. I think it is a very important feature of this policy. हम याद करते हैं अपने टाइम को मैडम, जब हमारे पास सब्जेक्ट्स को चूज करने का, खास तौर पे जब हम साइंस स्ट्रीम में जब मूव करते हैं तो कहीं आर्ट स्ट्रीम के सब्जेक्ट्स छूट जाते हैं। आर्ट स्ट्रीम में जो स्टूडेंट मूव करते हैं साइंस स्ट्रीम, बेसिक साइंस छूट जाती है। गर्ल्स एजुकेशन की अगर हम बात करें तो क्लास 8th में मैथमेटिक्स छूट जाता है, जो कि लाइफ के हर फेज में बड़ा कंपलसरी है। और उन बच्चों से छूट जाए जिनका इंटरेस्ट नहीं है तो बात समझ में आती है, लेकिन कई बार इंटरेस्ट होते हुए भी हम उन सब्जेक्ट्स को नहीं पढ़ पाते। तो न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी वो अपॉर्चुनिटी हमें प्रोवाइड कर रही है। I believe it is an excellent way for the education industry to look forward to making changes for future learning, and they are adapting the policies in a way that is future forward. The inclusion of vocational training with internship will provide them real world exposure and will help them explore the interest of learners. आप साइंस में हैं मैडम, बेसिकली जब हम वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग की बात करते हैं, अभी बहुत सारी स्टडीज इस बात को फोकस करती हैं कि हम सबके जो स्टूडेंट, जो पास आउट स्टूडेंट्स हैं, वो नॉलेजेबल हैं बट स्किलफुल नहीं। हम इंजीनियर्स की बात करते हैं, हम टीचर्स की बात करें, हम बायो इंजीनियर्स की बात करें, तो वो नॉलेजेबल हो सकते हैं, साइंटिस्ट भी हो सकते हैं, लेकिन सोसाइटी में अपनी नॉलेज को लेके कैसे जाएंगे, किस तरीके से खुद के लिए जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटी क्रिएट करेंगे, किस तरीके से न्यू इनिशिएटिव्स लेके आएंगे, कहीं ना कहीं वो कमियां अभी तक के सिस्टम में नजर आती हैं। नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी उन सारी कमियों को फुलफिल करने का काम करती है। नेक्स्ट वन इज सेमेस्टर बेस्ड लर्निंग। सेमेस्टर बेस्ड लर्निंग एट सेकेंडरी स्टेज विल इंश्योर ईयर लॉन्ग लर्निंग रादर देन लास्ट मिनट mugging up. While interdisciplinary subjects specification will help in developing emotional intelligence, critical thinking and problem solving skills of students. Since the new schooling system brings in multidisciplinary education and selecting subjects in the middle stage itself, it calls for better career counseling facilities to help kids make the correct choice. The choice of preferred subjects as early as in middle schools may probably push the ons of making a career decision on the family or the teacher, many of them not equipped to do so. This is an area where specialized counseling and support for children will become quite important. With the introduction of new vocations and subjects combinations, the school infrastructure would need to be updated. For this to succeed, the support infrastructure has to improve rapidly. In a country like India, we will also need to keep an eye of gender perceptions while introducing vocations. I think thus the move from 10+2 systems to the 5+3+4 system gives a lot of opportunities for not just the development of student, but also highlights which areas schools should focus on the development themselves. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Prashant, and thank you, VC sir. I think so.
I think ये सारे के सारे प्रोविजंस जो हमने अभी डिस्कस किए हैं, खासतौर पे स्कूल एजुकेशन को लेके, it will be helpful to change.
Yeah. आई थिंक वैसे मुझे नहीं लगता कि कोई क्वेश्चन है रेज हुआ है।
All areas or key factors are covered
from our side. Yeah.
Thank you very much, madam.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Somprabh Dubey ji, for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you all.